Listen closely. This is not just another conversation, not just another voice blending into the white noise of your life. This moment, right now, is different. It's a crossroads, a reckoning, a call to arms for your soul. You didn't stumble here by accident. No, this moment was meant to find you. You've been running, haven't you? Running from the pain, the disappointment, the chaos. You've been searching for a sign, a whisper in the dark, something to tell you that it's not too late, that you're not too broken. Well, here it is. This is your wake-up call. I know what you're thinking. Why now? Why me? Let me tell you why. Because deep down, beneath the weight of the doubts and fears you've been carrying like chains, there's a flicker of something the world couldn't extinguish. So let's get serious. Let's think big here. Let's become a brand. Celebrate yourself and honor your dreams and realize the potential you have inside you, a flicker of you. And if you don't fan that flame now, if you don't decide today that you're worth fighting for, then when? Because the truth is, time doesn't wait. Life doesn't pause. Every second you spend hesitating, doubting, or hiding is another second you surrender to the forces that want to keep you small, silent, and unseen. You felt it, haven't you? That tug in your chest, the ache that whispers, there's more to life than this. And yet you've ignored it. You've numbed it with distractions, drowned it in excuses, told yourself that tomorrow you'd be brave, tomorrow you'd start. But tomorrow isn't promised. All you have is now. So hear me when I say this. This is your moment. The life you've been dreaming of, the version of you that you barely dare to imagine. It's not waiting for you in some distant future. It's right here, right now, waiting for you to step into it. But let's be clear, this isn't going to be easy. Transformation never is. Growth demands discomfort. It requires that you face the parts of yourself you've been too afraid to confront. But let me tell you something else. The pain of staying stuck is far worse than the pain of rising up. You've been stuck in a loop, haven't you? Living the same day over and over again, hoping that somehow, magically, everything will change. But here's the thing, nothing changes unless you do. Life doesn't hand out miracles to the passive. It rewards the bold, the fighters, the ones who dare to rewrite the story, even when their hands are shaking. And that's who you are, even if you don't see it yet. You're a fighter. You've survived storms that would have broken others. You've endured nights so dark you thought the sun would never rise again. But it did, and so did you. Let me tell you a secret about struggle. It's not here to destroy you. It's here to reveal you, to strip away the layers of fear and doubt and show you what you're really made of. And you, my friend, are made of something unbreakable. But you've forgotten, haven't you? They told you you weren't enough, and you believed them. They made you feel small, and you let them, but not anymore. Today, you take that power back. Today, you decide that their words, their opinions, their judgments no longer define you. I know it feels overwhelming. The road ahead looks steep, and the weight you're carrying feels unbearable. But let me ask you this. What's the alternative? To keep shrinking, to keep letting fear dictate your choices, to live a life that doesn't feel like yours. No, that's not who you are. That's not why you're here. You were born to break cycles, to shatter limits, to create something extraordinary out of the pieces of your pain. So what are you going to do? Are you going to sit there, paralyzed by the enormity of it all? Or are you going to take the first step? Because that's all it takes. A single step, one small, defiant action that says, I'm not done yet. And once you take that step, you take another, and another, until one day you look back and realize you've climbed mountains you once thought were impossible. This is your moment to choose. Will you stay in the shadows letting life pass you by? Or will you step into the light and claim what's been waiting for you all along? The world needs what only you can give. Your story, your strength, your voice. It matters. But it's up to you to believe that. It's up to you to rise. This is your wake-up call. The alarm is ringing, and it's louder than the noise of your excuses, louder than the whispers of your fears. The only question now is, will you answer it? Will you rise to the occasion, or will you let this moment slip through your fingers? Because make no mistake, moments like this don't come often. This is your chance to rewrite everything, to turn your pain into purpose, your struggle into strength, and your life into a masterpiece. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for the perfect time. Don't wait for someone to save you. The person you've been waiting for is already here. It's you, and you are more powerful than you've ever allowed yourself to believe. So stand up, take a deep breath, and get ready to fight for the life you deserve. The reward will be unimaginable, and it starts right now. You've been walking through life like a ghost in your own story, haven't you? Invisible, unheard, misunderstood. The weight of the world presses on your chest, and every breath feels like a battle you're not sure you can win. You move through the motions, smiling when you're supposed to, nodding when it's expected, but inside there's a storm raging, a quiet chaos no one else seems to notice. You've carried this heaviness for so long that you've started to believe it's just a part of who you are. like an anchor tied to your soul, dragging you further into the depths. And no matter how hard you try to rise, no matter how desperately you reach for the surface, it feels like something is always pulling you back under. Fear, failure, doubt, the voices in your head that whisper, "You're not enough." Let's talk about those voices, the ones that creep in when the world goes quiet, the ones that replay every mistake, every missed opportunity, every rejection like a broken record. They remind you of the times you trusted and were betrayed, the moments you gave your all only to fall short. Why even try, they ask? Why risk more pain when it's safer to stay small? But it's not just the voices in your head, is it? There's not just the voices in your head, is it? It's the world around you too. The expectations that press down like a vice, squeezing the life out of your dreams. Society tells you to be this, do that, look a certain way, act a certain way, fit into a box that was never meant to hold you. You've been told to settle, to stay in line, to be grateful for the crumbs you've been given, even when your soul is starving for more. And then there are the people, the ones you thought you could count on, the ones who are supposed to protect you, support you, love you, but instead they tore you down. Maybe it was their words, sharp and cutting, leaving scars you can't seem to heal. Or maybe it was their absence, their silence, their refusal to see you. Either way, they made you feel small, unworthy, like you didn't matter. It's lonely, isn't it? To carry all of this by yourself, feel like you're screaming into the void and no one is listening. Loneliness doesn't just live in the absence of people, thrives in the spaces where connection should be, but isn't. It's the ache of being surrounded by a crowd, yet feeling completely alone. And the anger? Oh, the anger burns deep. Anger at the people who hurt you. Anger at the world for being so unfair, but mostly anger at yourself for not being stronger, for not fighting harder, for letting it all get to you. You hold that anger close because, in a way, it's the only thing that reminds you you're still alive. But it also poisons you, doesn't it? It keeps you stuck, trapped in a cycle of blame and bitterness. Let's not forget the fear of failing again, of trying and not measuring up, the fear of being seen for who you really are and being rejected all over again. It paralyzes you, convinces you that it's safer to stay where you are, even if it's miserable. Because at least here, the pain is familiar. At least here, you know what to expect. But let me tell you something, that fear, that doubt, in a mortality bin helps us be on the edge every time and continues to mortality. That anger and loneliness, they're not who you are. They're the villains in your story, the shadows that have convinced you they're too big to overcome. But shadows can't exist without light, and no matter how dark it feels right now, there's light inside you. It's faint, maybe even flickering, but it's there. I know the weight of your pain feels unbearable. I know you've convinced yourself that no one could possibly understand what you're going through. But hear me when I say this. You are not alone. Look around you. There are millions of people walking through their own storms, carrying their own burdens, feeling just as lost as you do. This pain, this struggle, it's part of being human. It's not a reflection of your weakness. It's a testament to your strength, because despite it all, you're still here. You've been told you're not enough so many times that you've started to believe it. But let me remind you, the world doesn't get to define your worth. The people who hurt you don't get to decide who you are. The mistakes you've made don't dictate your future. You are not your pain, your failures, or your fears. You are so much more. Yes, the struggle is real, the nights are long, and the road ahead looks endless. But this darkness you're walking through, it's not a dead end, it's a tunnel. And every step you take, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to the light. So no, you're not alone, and you're not broken beyond repair. The pieces of you that feel shattered can be put back together, not to make you the same as you were before, but to make you stronger, more resilient, more beautiful in your imperfection. The potential inside of you, like a mosaic, your brokenness can become a masterpiece. The villains in your story, your doubts, your fears, your anger, they only win if you let them. They thrive in your silence, in your hesitation, in your refusal to fight back. But you have the power to rewrite this story, to turn the page, pick up the pen, and declare, this is not how it ends. This isn't just about surviving anymore. It's about living. It's about taking everything that was meant to destroy you and using it to build something extraordinary. You've been walking in darkness for too long. It's time to start reaching for the light. Because you, my friend, are not done yet. You've hit rock bottom, haven't you? Or maybe it feels worse than that. Like you've fallen so far you don't even know if there's a bottom anymore. It's as if you're free falling through the dark, reaching out for something, anything to grab onto. But there's nothing, just empty air and the echo of your own doubt. You wake up each day wondering why you bother. Why drag yourself out of bed? Why face another day that looks just like the one before? It feels like you're stuck in quicksand, doesn't it? The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. And no matter how much you fight to keep your head above the surface, the weight of it all keeps pulling you down. Failure feels like a shadow that follows you everywhere. It's in the dreams you once had, now abandoned and gathering dust. It's in the opportunities you let slip through your fingers because fear whispered that you weren't good enough. It's in the mirror staring back at you with eyes that have lost their spark. And the worst part? That voice inside you, the one that says, "You're never going to escape this." Hopelessness is a strange kind of pain, isn't it? It doesn't scream or rage, it doesn't burn like anger or sting like betrayal. No, hopelessness is quiet. It seeps into your soul like a slow, cold rain, until one day you realize you're drenched. It's the ache of staring into the future and seeing nothing but gray skies and dead ends. And the fear, that paralyzing, suffocating fear, it's always there, lurking in the corners of your mind. Fear that you'll never climb out of this hole. Fear that you're too far gone. Fear that the world has moved on without you and there's no place left for you in it. Fear that even if you try, you'll fail again, and this time, it'll break you completely. I know it feels like the end, like you've been walking through a storm for so long that you've forgotten what the sun looks like. The rain has soaked through your skin, and the wind has battered you to the point where you're not even sure if you can take another step. You look around and all you see are empty horizons, a barren wasteland of missed chances and broken dreams. Or maybe it feels like you're buried alive, trapped under the weight of your own failures, mistakes, and regrets. The walls are closing in and the air is getting thinner, and you can't seem to find a way out. The arc of indecision seems effortless. From the outside it appears that one can most simply disappear through those dark thoughts, but the only way out, every time you claw at the rubble, more crashes down around you. It's exhausting, isn't it? To fight and fight, only to feel like you're sinking deeper. Let me tell you something, I see you. I see the tears you cry when no one else is around. I see the nights you lie awake, staring at the ceiling, wishing for a way out. I see the moments when you want to scream but don't, because you don't think anyone will hear you. Or worse, that they will, and they won't care. And here's what you need to hear. Even if it's hard to believe right now, you are not alone. I know, it feels like no one understands, like you're screaming into a void, but there are others, countless others, who've walked this same path, who've felt this same despair, who've looked at their lives and wondered if it was all for nothing. But let me tell you something else. This pain you're feeling, this darkness, it's not forever. It's a chapter, not the whole story. Right now, it feels endless, but one day you'll look back on this moment, and it will be the proof you need that you're capable of surviving anything. Imagine a forest after a wildfire. The trees are blackened, the ground is scorched, and it feels like nothing could ever grow there again. But give it time. Slowly, life begins to return. New shoots push through the ash, stronger and more resilient than before. That's you. This fire you're walking through, it's not here to destroy you. It's here to clear the way for something new, something stronger. I know that might be hard to believe right now. It's hard to imagine flowers blooming when all you see is ash. But trust me on this, you are stronger than you think. The very fact that you're here, still breathing, still fighting, proves that. Because if this truly was the end, you wouldn't still be standing. You're not just walking through the storm, you're enduring it. And every step you take, no matter how small, is bringing you closer to the edge of it. The sun is still there, even if you can't see it. And one day, when you least expect it, the clouds will break, and that first ray of light will touch your face. But you have to keep going. You have to keep moving, even when it feels impossible, even when every part of you is screaming to give up. Because this isn't how your story ends. This is the chapter where you find out just how much strength you have inside you. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to feel like you can't take another step. Rest if you need to. Cry if you need to. Scream if you need to. But don't stop. Don't let this darkness convince you that it's all there is. Because on the other side of this is a life you can't even imagine right now. And let me leave you with this. The deepest pain often produces the greatest growth. The strongest steel is forged in the hottest fire. And the most beautiful stories often come from the darkest places. This isn't the end. This is the beginning of something, and keep going. The light is waiting for you. It's time to rise. Time to let the fire that burned you transform into the fire that fuels you. I want you to pause for a moment and take a deep breath. Feel that? That's life. That's strength. That's proof that no matter how much you've been through, you're still here. And if you're still here, it means the story isn't over. In fact, the best chapters are yet to come. You've been through the fire, and it's left its mark. The scars you carry, they're not signs of weakness, they're proof of survival. Each one tells a story, a moment where the world tried to break you and you said, not today. Those scars aren't something to hide, they're something to wear proudly, because they mean you've faced the worst and come out the other side. Think about steel. It doesn't become strong by staying in its original state. No, it's forged in fire, hammered and shaped under intense pressure. The process is brutal, but the result is unbreakable. That's you. The pain you've endured, the struggles you've faced, they weren't here to destroy you. They were here to shape you, to reveal your strength, to transform you into something unshakable. And like a phoenix, you've been burned down to ash. But this is not the end of your story. No, this is your moment of rebirth. The fire that consumed you has also ignited something within you, a spark, a hunger, a determination to rise higher than ever before. Can you feel it? That flicker of hope that refuses to die no matter how dark it's been? That's your soul, ready to rise. You see, the struggles you've faced weren't random. They were a test, a necessary step in your journey. The universe wasn't punishing you, it was preparing you. Every setback, every heartbreak, every sleepless night was a lesson, a building block for the person you're becoming. It's easy to see the pain, but can you also see the growth? Can you see how every challenge has pushed you, stretched you, and made you stronger? Let's shift the narrative. Instead of asking, why me? Start asking, what can I learn from this? Every struggle has a purpose, even if it's hard to see in the moment. Maybe it's to teach you patience, or resilience, or the strength to stand up for yourself. Maybe it's to help you find your voice, or to remind you that you're capable of more than you ever imagined. Whatever the lesson, it's there, waiting for you to uncover it. I want you to picture something with me. Imagine a tree standing alone in a field. A storm rolls in, violent, relentless, tearing at its branches and threatening to uproot it completely. The tree bends under the weight of the wind, its leaves stripped away, its bark scarred, but when the storm passes, the tree is still standing, and over time it grows stronger, its roots dig deeper, its branches stretch higher, and the scars on its bark become a testament to its survival. That tree is you. You've survived the worst storms. You've been bent, bruised, and battered, but you're still here. And now it's time to thrive. It's time to take everything that was meant to break you and use it to build something extraordinary. Because here's the truth. The same fire that can destroy also has the power to create. It all depends on how you choose to use it. You have a choice. You can let the pain define you, or you can let it refine you. You can let it hold you back, or you can let it push you forward. The power is yours. It always has been. But to claim it, you have to let go of the fear, the doubt, and the belief that you're not enough. You have to step out of the shadows and into the light, even if it feels uncomfortable at first. It's time to rewrite the story you've been telling yourself, the one where you're the victim, where life happens to you instead of for you. You are not powerless. You are not defined by your past. You are the hero of this story, and heroes don't give up. They rise, they fight, they transform. I know what you're thinking. It's easy to say all of this, but how do I actually do it? Start small, take one step. Maybe it's reaching out for help. Maybe it's setting a boundary with someone who's been draining your energy. Maybe it's finally believing that you deserve better. Whatever it is, take that step, and then another and another. Before you know it, you'll be moving forward. Remember this, transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's a process, a journey, and it's okay to stumble along the way. What matters is that you keep going, that you keep rising, no matter how many times you fall, because every step forward, no matter how small, is a step toward the life you deserve. And let's talk about that life. Can you see it? Close your eyes and imagine the person you want to be, confident, resilient, thriving, living a life filled with purpose, joy, and connection. That person isn't a stranger. That's you, waiting to be uncovered. And the path to becoming that person starts with one decision: to rise. The fire that once felt like it would consume you is now the fire that will propel you forward. The ashes of your old self are the foundation for the person you're becoming. And the scars you carry, they're not weaknesses. They're badges of honor. They're proof that you faced the storm and survived. So rise, Phoenix. Rise from the ashes of your pain, your doubt, your fear. Spread your wings and take flight. The world is waiting for the brilliance only you can bring. The journey won't be easy, but I promise you this, it will be worth it. You've survived the worst. Now it's time to thrive. You've reached the turning point. Can you feel it? The air is different now, charged with possibility. The weight you've been carrying, the pain that's been holding you hostage, it's not as heavy as it once seemed. And here's why. You've started to see it for what it truly is. Not a sentence, not a punishment, but a preparation. The struggles you've endured weren't meant to break you, they were meant to build you. Every scar you carry, every tear you've shed, every sleepless night, it's all been leading to this moment. This is your awakening. This is the moment where you realize that you are so much stronger than you ever gave yourself credit for. The pain didn't destroy you, it shaped you. It carved out space within you for resilience, for wisdom, for a strength that cannot be shaken. And now, you stand on the edge of something extraordinary. the life you were always meant to live. Let me ask you something. Will you rise, or will you let this break you? Will you step into the light, or will you stay in the shadows, clinging to the familiar pain because it feels safer than the unknown? The choice is yours, but let me remind you of this. Every great story, every hero's journey reaches a moment like this, a moment where they must decide whether to let their past define them or to use it as fuel to create a new future. Think of the people who've risen before you, the ones who faced unimaginable odds and still found a way to triumph. The single mother who built a business from nothing, the artist who turned rejection into masterpieces, the survivor who turned their trauma into a mission to help others. What do they all have in common? They chose to rise. They chose to believe that their pain had a purpose and that their story wasn't over. And so do you. Your struggles have prepared you for greatness. Every challenge, every setback, every heartbreak, it's all been sharpening you, refining you, getting you ready for this moment. Think of it like a bow and arrow. The farther back you're pulled, the more tension you feel, the more powerful the release when you finally let go. And now, my friend, it's time to let go. It's time to aim for the life you've been dreaming of and let yourself fly. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine it, the future that's waiting for you. A life where you wake up each day with purpose, where your struggles are no longer chains holding you back, but stepping stones that have brought you here. A life filled with joy, with connection, with a deep sense of fulfillment that comes from knowing you fought for this, that you earned this. Picture yourself walking into a room, head held high, carrying the confidence of someone who knows their worth. Imagine the relationships you'll build, ones that are built on mutual respect, love, and authenticity. Envision the moments of laughter, the milestones you'll achieve, the dreams you'll bring to life because you dared to believe in yourself. This isn't just wishful thinking. This is your potential. This is what's waiting for you on the other side of fear, on the other side of doubt. But to claim it, you have to make a choice. You have to decide right here and now that you're done playing small, that you're done letting the past dictate your future, that you're ready to step into your power and take control of your story. Let's be clear. This won't be easy. There will still be challenges. There will still be moments of doubt, moments when you feel like giving up. But here's the difference. You've already proven you can survive the worst. You've already endured the storm. Now, it's about thriving in the aftermath. It's about using everything you've learned, everything you've gained, to build a life that's bigger and brighter than anything you've known before. Let me ask you again, will you rise? Will you take the lessons your pain has taught you and turn them into strength? Will you let the fire within you burn brighter than the fire around you? Will you dare to believe that the life you've always wanted isn't just possible, it's waiting for you to claim it? And if you're still hesitant, let me remind you of this. The world needs you. Your story, your strength, your voice, it all matters. You've been through the darkness, and now it's your turn to be the light for someone else. Imagine the lives you'll touch, the people you'll inspire simply by choosing to rise. So, what does this new chapter look like for you? Is it starting that project you've been too afraid to begin? Is it walking away from the relationships or environments that have been draining you? Is it finally forgiving yourself for the mistakes you've made and allowing yourself to move forward? Whatever it is, it's time to take that step. Because here's the truth. The reward is unimaginable. The freedom you'll feel when you let go of the weight you've been carrying. The joy of finally stepping into the life that's been waiting for you all along. The sense of fulfillment that comes from knowing you didn't just survive, you thrived. And one day, when you look back on this moment, you'll see it for what it truly is. The turning point. The moment where everything changed. The moment where you stopped letting life happen to you and started making life happen for you. The moment where you decided to rise, to fight, to believe in yourself, even when it felt impossible. So here's your challenge. Take that first step. It doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be yours. Choose to rise. Choose to believe in the unimaginable reward that's waiting for you. Choose to write a story that's filled with purpose, joy, and fulfillment. This is your moment of clarity. This is your moment of power. The storm has passed and the sun is breaking through the clouds. The world is wide open and it's yours for the taking. All you have to do is rise. This is it. The moment you've been waiting for. The moment where you take everything you've endured, everything you've learned, and use it to step into your power. No more waiting for permission. No more hoping that someday, somehow, things will change. The time for waiting is over. The time for action is now. Think about it. If not now, then when? If not you, then who? The life you've been dreaming of is out there, but it's not going to come to you. You have to go to it. You have to reach for it, fight for it, claim it as your own. And the first step? It starts here. It starts with reclaiming your power. Let's get one thing straight. Your power was never truly gone. It's been there all along, buried beneath the weight of doubt, fear, and pain. It's like a seed that's been waiting for the right moment to break through the surface and grow. And now is that moment. Now is the time to dig deep, to unearth that power and let it bloom. Step 1. Self-reflection. Facing the mirror. The first step to reclaiming your power is to look inward. Uncontrollable, capability, resilience. Let's set your self-freedom mirror on fire to look into your eyes. You can't rewrite your story if you don't understand the chapters that brought you here. So, take a moment to reflect. What are the patterns that have kept you stuck? What are the beliefs that have held you back? What are the fears that have silenced your voice? This isn't about blame or shame. It's about awareness. It's about shining a light on the parts of yourself that you've been too afraid to face. Because here's the truth. You can't change what you don't confront. And the things you're most afraid to look at, those are often the very things that hold the key to your freedom. Ask yourself, what do I want? Not what society expects of you, not what others think you should want. What do you truly want? What kind of life would make you feel alive, fulfilled, and free? Be honest with yourself. Write it down. Speak it out loud. Claim it. Step 2. Rebuilding confidence. Brick by brick. Confidence isn't something you're born with. It's something you build. And like any structure, it starts with a strong foundation. That foundation is made up of small, consistent actions that remind you of your worth and capability. Start by setting small, achievable goals. Maybe it's waking up an hour earlier to focus on yourself. Maybe it's speaking up in a meeting or setting a boundary with someone who's been draining your energy. Each small victory is a brick in the foundation of your confidence. And as you stack those bricks, you'll start to see the incredible structure you're building. Remember, confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up even when you're scared. It's about trying even when you don't know if you'll succeed. It's about trusting yourself even when the world tries to make you doubt. Step 3. Embracing growth, turning pain into power. Growth isn't a destination, it's a journey. And like any journey, it's going to have its ups and downs. But the beauty of growth is that it turns pain into power. Every struggle you've faced, every obstacle you've overcome has been preparing you for this moment. Embrace the idea that growth is uncomfortable. It's supposed to be. Growth means stepping out of your comfort zone, challenging your limits, and pushing yourself to become more than you thought you could be. But here's the thing. The discomfort is temporary. The rewards are unimaginable. Let go of the need for perfection. Growth is messy. It's full of mistakes and setbacks. But every mistake is a lesson, and every setback is an opportunity to come back stronger. Step 4. Write your new story. You are the author. Your life is your story, and you are the author. The pen has always been in your hand. Maybe you didn't realize it before. Maybe you let others write your story for you. Society, family, fear, but not anymore. Now it's time to take the pen back and write the story you've always wanted to live. Start by forgiving yourself for the chapters you're not proud of. Those chapters don't define you. They're part of the story, yes, but they're not the ending. The beauty of being the author is that you get to decide what happens next. Write a story where you are the hero, a story where your struggles become your strength, where your pain becomes your purpose, where your setbacks become your greatest comebacks. Write a story that makes you proud, a story that inspires others, a story that proves that no matter how dark it gets, the light is always within reach. You are the artist of your masterpiece. Every stroke, every color, every detail, it's yours to create. And like any masterpiece, it takes time, patience, and vision. Don't rush the process. Trust that every moment, every challenge is adding depth and beauty to your creation. You are the phoenix rising from the ashes of your old self. The fire that once consumed you has now become the fire that propels you forward. Your wings are stronger than ever, ready to take you to heights you never imagined. I say, you are the seed, breaking through the soil after the storm. The rain may have battered you, but it also nourished you. And now you're growing, reaching for the sun, becoming everything you were meant to be. So here it is. The world is waiting to hear your story. Not the story of your pain, but the story of your triumph. Not the story of your fear, but the story of your courage. Not the story of your failure, but the story of your resilience. This is your moment. This is your time. Reclaim your power. Rewrite your story. The life you've been dreaming of is waiting for you. It's always been waiting for you, and now you're ready to claim it. Stand tall. Speak your truth. Take that first step, and then another and another. Before you know it, you'll be running, flying, soaring into the life that's been calling your name all along. The world is yours. Your story is yours, and your time is now. Go out there and make it unforgettable. Take a moment to pause, breathe deeply, reflect on the journey you've just traveled through. This journey of struggle, survival, awakening, and transformation. You've looked into the darkest corners of your life, faced the weight of your pain, and dared to dream of a brighter future. That alone is no small feat. That alone is proof of your courage. You've walked through the fire, and now you can see it for what it truly was, not destruction, but refinement. The struggles you faced weren't punishments. They weren't signs of your weakness or inadequacy. They were lessons, shaping you, preparing you, revealing your strength in ways you never thought possible. For so long, you've been carrying the belief that you weren't enough, that you didn't measure up, that somehow your struggles were a reflection of your worth. But let me tell you something. You were always enough. Always. Even when you felt broken. Even when the world tried to convince you otherwise. Even when you doubted yourself. Your worth was never up for debate. It has been constant, unwavering, and intrinsic from the moment you took your first breath. The challenges you faced were not a reflection of who you are. They were simply a part of your story. They were the storms that tested your foundation, the trials that asked, how much can you endure? And endure you did. You've proved time and time again that you are resilient beyond measure. Think back to the moments you wanted to give up but didn't. The nights you cried yourself to sleep but still woke up the next morning. The times you stumbled but found a way to stand again. Those moments weren't failures, they were victories. Small, quiet victories that built the foundation of your strength. And look at you now. You've come so far. You've learned that pain doesn't define you, it refines you. Now you know. You've realized that every scar you carry is a testament to your survival. A badge of honor that says, I've been through hell and I'm still standing. You've discovered that your worth isn't tied to what you've been through, but to who you are. Someone brave, someone capable, someone enough. You've embraced the truth that life is messy and imperfect, but within that mess lies beauty, growth, and transformation. You've learned to forgive yourself for the mistakes you've made and to celebrate the resilience that brought you through. You've seen that your struggles didn't break you, they built you. That your belief and trust rebuilt you. Let me remind you of the central truth we've uncovered together. Your test was proof of your strength, and your reward will be a testament to your resilience. The struggles you've faced have prepared you for greatness. They've given you the wisdom to navigate life's challenges, the compassion to connect with others, and the strength to rise above anything that tries to hold you back. They've shown you that you are capable of not just surviving, but thriving. And now, as you move forward, let this be your guiding light. You are enough. Always have been, always will be. Your worth is not dependent on your past, your mistakes, or the opinions of others. It is inherent, unshakable, and infinite. The road ahead won't always be easy. There will be new challenges, new storms to weather. But you've already proven that you have what it takes to face them. And now, you have something even more powerful. The belief in yourself. The knowledge that you are capable of overcoming anything. So go forth and embrace the life that's waiting for you. Step boldly into your power, knowing that you are the author of your story, the creator of your destiny. And remember, every step you take is a testament to your strength. Every victory a reflection of your resilience. Leave behind the doubts, the fears, the voices that told you you weren't enough. You've outgrown them. You've risen above them. Now is the time to live fully, freely, and unapologetically. And when you look back on this journey, let it remind you of this truth. You were always enough. Your struggles were never a reflection of your value, but a stage for your strength to shine. Your resilience is your greatest gift, and your future is a canvas waiting for you to paint it with purpose, joy, and fulfillment. This is your moment. Hey, this is your life. Go out there and live it with everything you've got. The world is waiting for your light, your voice, your story, and you, my friend, are more than ready. Your test was proof of your strength, and your reward will be a testament to your resilience. Now, go claim it.